Super excited to talk about these new PING G425 irons and their new version of the crossover. They introduced the 410 iron in January of this year, so this one is an exciting change. It's a little bit shorter heel to toe, but they've done some interesting things like we'll try to get a picture of this cutout in here. I think you could dig a hole and use this as a shovel. That is a deep cavity, and it's pretty cool, and so is this crossover. So first, the 425 iron has been changed a little bit. The face in particular has taken a lot of interest. That huge cavity that I just described also helps thin out the club face itself for the variable thickness of each of these irons. So they're built much more like drivers or fairway woods than they really are built for irons. So now you can hit shots higher. They should have some faster ball speeds than ever before. So these irons will go a long way. And for something that's really made to travel as far as these are, I think they're going to fly pretty high with some extra spin as well for a lot of golfers. So they'll hold greens easier than some of the longer built irons that are out there today. The 425 crossover is interesting as well. It's meant to fill some gaps between the long irons and obviously the fairway woods. But these have a thinner face and some different geometry on the inside to give you some faster ball speeds and still keep the golf ball high into the air. So there's a little higher MOI due to changing some of the mass. And then I really like the black finish, the hydro pearl finish that helps repel some moisture and improve some performance in basically any condition you can have. And it's just a cool look. It's almost on par, I think, with the matte finish that's on the driver. So these are really nice. I've got the Arccos Caddy Smart Grip in here as well. So if you're interested in tracking your game, Arccos is definitely really good for that use. So what I'd like to do next, I think, is instead of talking about all these features, it's good to have Dave hit a few of these shots and just take a look at it for himself and see what he likes and doesn't like. He's played ping clubs for a long time. So Dave, you ready to hit a few?
Let's do it.
Dave, what do you think of that 425 7-iron you're holding there?
Forgiving.
Fancy, right?
First word that comes to my head is forgiving. That thing looks super easy to hit.
Yeah, it does, for sure. Did you ever hit the 710?
I think I did.
Okay.
You know, as part of our testing last year, probably. Obviously, it's not what I play. I've got the i500s, but
right.
Yeah, this looks like a iron that anybody could hit.
It's got a chance. It has a little more offset than your i500s do. It's not really made for a player. Someone who shoots in the low 70s might not want these, although I'm still curious about it. Myself, I really like these super forgiving irons. I think almost anyone can play it. I just start getting nervous when there's a lot of offset for the long irons.
Yep.
Because if you already draw, it's not helping you with that. It just keeps aiming the face more and more to the left. But the blade length itself relative to the 710 is a little shorter. That's probably why it looks okay to you. It's more what you're used to looking.
Yeah, a lot of these irons, even from Ping in the past and from some other vendors as well, these get really, I call them tennis rackets, right? They get very just big and bulky looking. And this doesn't look that way. This looks slimmed down and, you know, more appeasing to the eye. But man, when you look at the backside, there's all kinds of forgiveness there.
Oh yeah, and you're right. For a forgiving game improvement like bomber type of club, that's about as traditional as I've seen one look so far. So let's hit a couple. I'm curious how far this goes relative to what you already think of as your own 7-iron.
Yep.
From the i500 comparison. Okay.
It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Went into the net, and that stopped. Okay, I got it. I am seeing there's some more problems with the tee in this version than ever before.
Probably.
You're fine. It's good now. It had found the ball anyway.
And I feel like that one went 208. Yeah, of course I hit that one on the toe.
That was a toe ball?
That was a toe ball.
All right.
Yeah.
That carried pretty far for a 7-iron on the toe. How would you rate that one, like 1 to 10?
I could tell the contact quality was close to like a 7 at most, but because of the forgiveness, it went a lot better than that.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, that was my question, really. You think that was like a 6 or 7 with the hit? That was a
Well,
nice
I mean,
shot.
put it this way, I could feel the club twist,
okay.
right? So it was that far out away from...
You might hit the shiny part. Okay,
this
this time hit the grooves. That one looked better.
That was grooved.
All right.
A little push, but grooved.
It didn't carry much further. That one's even interesting. That carried 2 yards further.
Yeah, it
than
went a
the
little
one you had on
higher.
the toe.
At least I think it did.
So how about these just for initial shots? I know that both of those are a little too far of a push. Your launch angle's a touch high. I mean,
Yep.
somewhere between 15 and 20 is fine. You're at the 19. You're touching the cusp of that one. A little bit too much spin, I think, for what you're after, but it's not far off either. I wouldn't mind you spinning that at 6,500. And the angle of descent's 46. So
Well, and I told
not
you,
too bad.
the one that Foresight chose not to record went 208 in the air.
208, maybe 218. Those are pretty good numbers for a 7-iron. Though.
Feels
How's
great
it-
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the sound. Anything interesting about that?
It's a little
Sounds about
louder,
right?
but I don't mind it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, loud is power, so I like that. I like I like that sound when I hit it. No, I like it.
Gonna
Yeah,
have that V8 truck then, Dave.
absolutely.
Oh wait, you do.
Oh wait, I do.
Yes. It did. Standing over here after hearing thousands of golf balls hit, standing here, it's a little louder but more hollow.
Yeah.
It's an interesting sound, but I don't think one that's going to turn anybody off.
No.
It's just different. And like you said, I think a lot of people hit their 7-iron and want to hear that pow like you get out of a driver.
Yep.
On to your favorite golf club. Dave hates hybrids, by the way, but he just hit the 425 hybrids. Awesome. So I'm
For the
excited to see
record,
this.
it's user error. It's not because of the equipment vendor. It's user error.
Yeah, we all know that. You didn't need to say it. I like the Hydro Pearl black finish on this one. The version you have does not have this. You had the first gen and second gen
Yep.
crossovers. They've come a long way. The back of the club isn't as visible when you put it down on the
Yep.
ground. And then changing from just the stainless finish or more of a gray to this black, I think is pretty cool.
It is very cool looking.
Yeah. And I like that shaft. They took away the red shaft band at the top
Yep.
half of it and went to just a black, so that looks pretty nice too. Good appearances aesthetically. How was that one? Little in heel?
Yeah, it felt
Pretty
okay.
good? Okay.
Yeah, a little push.
Carry distance was long, so you hit it solid. Let's do one more.
Do one more. Yeah, those were both hit about the same.
That one sounded
That one I
really
tried to get rid of the little push.
good. Okay. Let's see what we got on that. Okay, you got a ball speed 141, backspin 38.56. Again, same story until you start hitting the green range with this backspin number. I would not suggest trying to hit this into a green and expect it to land high and soft. It's going to be rolling in. Even though your launch angle is pretty good, about 15 for that kind of club would be nice. Angle of descent's at 41. I'm still thinking you need to get closer to 45 if you want to try to land this onto a green. But that's not excessively low like a driver would come
Right.
in. But that was hit pretty hard. For a guy who doesn't like those hybrids, you carried that 245.
Well, I mean, for me they're range queens. They do great on the range. And then I get out on the golf course and it just doesn't happen.
I'll take you on that one. So any thoughts that you would subjectively give for the 7-iron and the crossover, understanding that we've already talked about the fabs and the features of why these are a little better performing?
Yeah, I mean, 7-iron, of course, or the 425, we said, super forgiving, going to be really, really easy to hit, really, really easy to hit straight. You know, you can kind of miss it and get a lot of benefit out of it. And then I have always liked these types of clubs, these crossover types for a long iron replacement, 3-4 iron, things like that. That would be, if you had a less forgiving set, more of a better player club, either of these might be a good long iron replacement, something to try and play around with.
Yeah,
So,
this and a 4-iron would be super interesting for someone who...
I mean, if Ping could guarantee me that
better.
I'm going to hit it 245 every time I swing this one, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, no, sure, they're not doing that, but okay. So you can see Ping's got some interesting irons and crossovers. They don't introduce new products as frequently as other OEMs, which I really appreciate and respect them for doing. So when they do, I'm always very confident that's better than what they had before. So
Yep.
these 425s are worth checking out. Good place to do that might be a local GOLFTEC.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
That's
so
where I would go.
That's where you would go. That's good,
That's
Dave.
literally where I am right now.
The reason you should go there, though, is important. You want someone who helps people play better every single day. So it's not just a place to get fit for clubs. Coaches don't just get paid to sell golf clubs. They get paid to help people play better. That's the whole point. So you've got seriously expert coaches, some cool software that helps make this very visual in the presentation about why you should get something. And then ultimately it gives you the best chance to make the buying decision. That's going to help you keep these from being in your garage and just being another ornament that sits there and it annoys you by spending money every day, but you know it's not any good.
Yep.
So find a coach near you, and you should be able to test these things out really soon.